Hi guys, where do I begin? I've been out all day. I'm so tired of walking. I could walk home, but I ordered an Uber. So while the Uber is coming, I'm going to tell this little story. The foundation of the story really is about growing in awareness as a soul, which means becoming more and more enlightened to discernment and intuition and being obedient to that, following your gut. We've all been in situations where something told us to do something and we didn't do it. And then something went down and then we were like, oh shoot, my gut told me to. I think one of the major goals in life is to not always have to say, oh dang, my gut told me to, but I didn't listen. One of the greatest traits of maturity is listening and being obedient. So I just want to quickly tell the story of my first medical emergency in flight. Um, of course, I'm here in Utah. I went to a grocery store I had never been to, a Macy's, because I kept feeling inclined to purchase like some cheap craft scissors, like rounded tip craft scissors. I had these little itty bitty tiny scissors that came in like this kit from like Daiso, right? And those scissors were like kind of small. So I wanted to get something bigger that I could carry with me on the plane, that I could carry through TSA. So I've been carrying these scissors with me for a long time, and I always carry them in my work backpack. I don't really have to, but I do because I take little craft projects. I've been working on friendship bracelets. If I have a layover, like I have, 4 to 5 friendship bracelets to work on, I bring crochet with me. I just wanted to make sure I had something. So fast forward to a couple of days ago. I did a 3-day trip over in Orlando, and first 2 days was what it was. Don't really need to talk about that. Our last day coming back was interesting. Of course, me and my crew members, we were all in good spirits, even though we were delayed. Um, but everything kind of started when we began boarding our guests, and these guests were not happy. I would say it's probably one of the most frustrated and impatient and maybe most angry group of people I've dealt with so far. But I've learned to keep my frequency very high and to try to bring laughter and to not let other people's, you know, however they feel affect me in a negative way. We knew we had a long, long, long trip ahead of us trying to get back to Utah. We didn't have our Airbus, so we had to fly in a jet, which means we had to stop to get fuel, which is not normally the thing to do when you're on the Airbus. We finally made it to John Wayne. We finally deplaned the angry group, and we were able to board a more calm group, a little bit more of an intimate crowd. And we thought to ourselves, you know what? Everything seems calm and cool right now. We're on our last leg. We're making our way back to Provo, and we start service. Next thing you know, an announcement goes out for a medical professional on board. And I'm like, oh shoot, okay. Of course, the most important thing is to always stay calm. And so while I was with one of my crew members doing service, we had to set service aside for a second and pretty much see if there was a medical professional on board. Since I was FA3, I was already in the direction of being able to walk to the back of the aircraft, and I just started going from seat to seat to ask if there was a medical professional on board. Come to find out, a family, husband, wife, and baby that I had been talking to from California, and we had been joking, and they were like super energetic. They were Filipino, super energetic. We were talking about how we're from California. I can always tell Californians when I see them, and they were visiting family in Utah. Come to find out, the same couple that I had been laughing and joking with, the husband was a RN. And so I ended up going to find out the nature of the situation. Possible heart attack, maybe a little bit of oxygen restriction, blood flow restriction in a guest that we had. And so I grabbed him. I said, you know what, give the baby to your wife. Please follow me. And we went through the procedures. We did everything we did. When he requested a blood pressure pump, we went to go get our emergency medical kit, and all of our emergency equipment have like easily breakaway tabs on them. This was a situation where time was of the essence, and we break off the main tab that's supposed to be on there. Come to find out, there's a zip tie on the pouch where we're trying to get the blood pressure pump out. There's not supposed to be zip ties on the kit. And the most experienced flight attendant out of all of us was like, I need something sharp. And so for a second, we all scrambled. Like, I'm feeling for my pockets. I'm like, sharp, sharp, sharp. Ding! Oh, I have scissors in my backpack. Went, ran, grabbed my little craft scissors, cut the zip tie. We were able to get into the pouch for the blood pressure pump and continue on the process accordingly. I'm just going to stop the story right there because, we have to do safety reports, and our base supervisor and our in-flight directors followed up with us just to check to make sure we were okay. If we have these apps and these programs within the company for any kind of therapy or just whatever, any kind of trauma help. And so we were all doing okay. We did our safety reports, but the main thing was that we really, really was concerned about that zip tie being on the emergency medical kit. I say all of this to say, bottom line is, I put in my safety report, if the situation had gone differently and I did not have scissors, we possibly would have had to maybe go from guest to guest to see if someone had like a nail clip, but we know in flying and going through TSA, it would be highly unlikely that someone would have something sharp or something that would be able to cut something like a zip tie. All I'm saying is, in your journey, don't continuously have to say, oh shoot, I should have followed my gut. I didn't listen. Listen, guys. Just listen. When we're trying to improve our souls and improve our life, and we're trying to be positioned and do the right thing, when your gut is telling you to do something, it is in preparation for something in the future, even if you don't fully understand what that is, when it will happen, or if it will ever happen. In the moment when something is telling you to do something, do it. That's all I have to say is do it. The greatest sign of immaturity is constantly having to go in a loop, is constantly disobeying, constantly not awakening to your discernment and your intuition, and constantly causing trouble for yourself. I'm so thankful that I had scissors. I'm so thankful that I was able to not prolong the situation. I'm thankful that I listen, and I've had to learn to listen. So that's it. Bye.